Welcome to all in my class 12th biology chapter 5 principles of inheritance and variation video, and today's topic is understanding some important genetic terms. What are genetic terms? In this chapter we are supposed to learn about Mendel's genetic experiments. For those experiments Mendel used, or we scientists use some terms which we need to understand before understanding those experiments. And these terms are called genetic terminology. So let's move to the next slide and learn those terms. So the first term is phenotype. What is phenotype? While conducting genetic experiments, we need to observe any living organism, and the physical appearance of any living organism is called its phenotype. So what is phenotype? The complete physical appearance of any living organism, either plant, animal, or any other creature, for example fungi. Mendel proposed that the physical appearance or phenotype of any living organism is because of its genetic information which any organism contains within itself. That complete set of genetic information is called its genotype. So physical appearance is phenotype, and genetic information for that physical appearance is called its genotype. We can see in any organism that the complete physical appearance of any plant or animal is composed of many observable features. For example, in plants we can see leaves, flowers, stem, branches, pattern of flowers, pattern of leaves, parts of flowers. So these features make the complete physical appearance of any plant. Every single feature of any living organism which we can observe is called a character. So what is character? A character is an observable feature such as flower color. We can also see that these characters, for example flower color, we can, stem height, seed shape, seed color, pod shape, or any other feature which we can observe, comes into many forms. For example, if we take flower color, then in pea plant Pisum sativum, which Mendel was studied, we can see that there are two types of flowers, violet flowers and white flowers. So flower color is a character which we can observe, and violet flowers and white flowers are two types of that character, and these two forms are called traits. So what is a trait? Trait is a particular form of a character. For example, plant height is a character, then tall plant is a trait, and dwarf plant is a trait. Now, if complete physical appearance of any organism is the result of genotype or genetic composition of that living organism, then observable features or characters which we are observing in phenotype, every character, for every character any living organism have a unit of genetic information, and we call that genetic information as genes. Although Mendel used the term factor, we will discuss it later. So what is gene? Gene is the unit of inheritance which is responsible for character. Generally in Mendel's genetic experiments we will see that one gene is responsible for one character. Although there are so many exceptions are there, we will discuss it later in forthcoming chapter. Now as we have seen that any characters comes into various forms, and those forms are called traits. In the same manner, genes are also comes in different forms, and different forms of genes are called alleles. So what is allele? Allele is a particular form of any gene. Now nowadays we know that every living organism is composed of cells, either eukaryotic cells or prokaryotic cells. When I talk about plants and animals, these organisms are composed of eukaryotic cells, and in these organisms genetic information resides within cells, within nucleus. in the form of chromatin or chromosomes. So we can say that chromosomes are the carrier of genes. In any chromosome, for any gene there is a fixed position. For example, in pea plant, if there is a chromosome, then the gene for plant height, gene for flower color, gene for seed shape or pod shape will reside on fixed positions. Those positions are called loci or singular locus. Next, now there are two very important terms which we will discuss several times in our discussion of monohybrid and dihybrid cross of Mendel. The first term is homozygote and the second term is heterozygote. Sometimes we say homozygous and heterozygous also. So homozygous word is composed of two words, homo and zygous, or homo and zygote, and heterozygote is in the same way is composed of hetero and zygote. The meaning of homo is the same and meaning of hetero is different, and we have encountered these terms in chemistry and other subjects also. For example, homopolymer and heteropolymer. So what is zygote? Zygote is something, zygote tells about the pairing. For example, human zygote is a result of pairing of sperm and egg, and as we have learned also that in meiosis first, the stage of prophase first, which we have studied leptotin, zygotin, pectine, diplotin dikinesis. So the zygotin phase was pairing of chromosomes. So zygote is something related to pairing. Homozygote means pairing of same type, and heterozygote means pairing of different types. What we are which things pairing? Things are alleles. So in this slide we can observe these two seeds of pea plant. One is spherical and another is wrinkled. We can see rounded also, two spherical seed. So if a pea plant is having spherical seed, then we can say that okay, this plant is having genetic information for spherical seed. If any pea plant is having wrinkled seeds, then we can say that this plant is having genetic information for wrinkled seed. But there is another point to be considered also, that we organisms have two sets of genetic information. For example, for seed shape, pea plant have two set of genetic information. For flower color, pea plant also having two sets of genetic information. For plant height, plant is having two sets of genetic information. So if a plant is having spherical seeds, it may have two alleles for spherical seeds and spherical seeds. Likewise, if a plant is having wrinkled seeds, then this plant will have two alleles for wrinkled seeds and wrinkled seeds. If any plant or if any organism have similar type of alleles, then we can say that this plant is homozygous for that character or homozygote for that character. For example, if a plant has wrinkled seeds and it have two alleles for wrinkled seed and wrinkled seed, we can say that this plant is homozygous for wrinkled seed. In the next diagram, we can see that another spherical seed is drawn, and we are not able to see any difference between these two spherical or rounded seeds, but the plant having the second type of spherical seed is having one allele for wrinkled seed and one allele for rounded seed, but this seed appears exactly the same like the previous one. So in this condition, if a plant having one copy of gene for roundness and one copy of gene for wrinkled seed, then if seeds are spherical or rounded, then we can say that the allele for rounded seed is dominant and the allele for wrinkled seed is recessive. We will discuss these terms later in the monohybrid cross, but here the point is to be considered is that if any organism for any character is having two same type of alleles, it will called homozygote, and if having two different type of alleles, it will called heterozygote. So and we denote alleles or genes by alphabetical symbols. For example, in this example we are denoting the gene for seed shape as alphabet R. and we are using uppercase R's and lowercase r's, means capital R's and small r's. Capital R for the dominant one and small r for the recessive one. And we can also notice that we are denoting any gene with the same alphabet. If gene for seed shape is denoted by R, then no matter it is for rounded or for wrinkled, we will always denote it by R. But yes, for dominant one we will make the R capital, and for the recessive one we will make the R small. So these are the some important terms, and there are so many others also we will discuss later in this chapter. Now, what was the Mendel's experimental technique? So Mendel performed genetic crosses by performing genetic hybridization. He simply took two plants with flowers and performed pollination, and we can say that pollination was controlled pollination. For example, we know that in pea plant or Pisum sativum plant there are bisexual flowers, so we cannot say that this flower is male or this flower is female, because all the flowers are having male and female sexual organs. And likewise we cannot we will see that all pea plants are having bisexual flowers, so we cannot say that this plant is male plant and this plant is female plant. But how he performed the cross pollination process, that he took one flower's carpel and another plant's pollen, and the plant whose carpel was considered, he removed all the pollen sacs or all the anthers. So he was saying that okay, this plant is female plant, and he when he collected pollen from some another plant, he said that that plant is male plant. So this is how he performed the crosses, and while performing crosses he covered that plant, and that covering is called bagging. The dusting of pollen is called dusting, and he put some tags to note the data. That process is called tagging. And then he collected seeds. If we want to see the features of seed, we need to collect the seeds, and if we want to observe the features of plant height, flower color and leaves, then we need to grow those seeds and then see the character when plant is growing. So this is the technique which was followed by the Mendel. We will discuss this technique later when we will understand the process. So thank you so much for your patient listening, and we will discuss in another lecture the Mendel's monohybrid process and laws of inheritance. Thank you so much.